Alright, there we go. Hello everybody, and welcome to the 2023 Samsung Offline Racing League. We're here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for race 4 of the season. We're back after a little break between races. Obviously we had Oregon a couple of weeks ago. Didn't have one last week, but we are back and we're getting ready to go for 67 laps, about 100-ish miles, pretty close. And really looking forward to this one, particularly as it is live here on YouTube. And I'm sure you probably just heard I'm fiddling around at the moment, just getting everything sorted, just to make sure it's as smooth as possible. And so yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. I don't know what's going to happen. It's gonna be very interesting. Rightly pointed out after qualifying that it's going to be very fast. The drivers were going at an extremely quick rate, extremely fast lap times, sub 26 seconds in qualifying. So the race is probably going to go pretty quickly. We're probably going to see quite a number of lead changes again. We're going to see quite a number of very fast race cars, fast lap times, all that kind of stuff. Looking forward to this one. And we'll get to the starting lineup. We'll go through the top 10 and then I'll show you the rest. James Stack is on the pole in the number 23, the Daytona winner. Hasn't had a great year since then. The last couple of races have been disappointing, but he starts on the pole for today's race at Las Vegas. And joining him on the front row is the number 22 of John Stewart, who's had a very, very disappointing season, but he starts from the front row today. A couple of teammates on row 2. Max Davis, our last winner in the Cup, in the Samsung Offline Racing League, in the number 6. And then joining him is his teammate, the number 45 of Logan Thomas, who finished second at Atlanta. So both those guys having good years so far. James Jefferson, in the number 54, finished third last time out at Oregon. He starts from the 5th position. And Roberto Crown Jr., his teammate, Hololive Racing Project, finished third at Atlanta. He'll start from 6th. Dominic Anthony in the number 39, driving for Giffen Technologies Incorporated. These guys won the last Las Vegas race of the old AKG Cup. He starts from 7th. And Jake Rogers, so a couple of veterans together on row 4. And then rounding out the top 10, Chase Harris in the number 47 and Nicholas Samadio in the number 97, both looking for good runs this afternoon. And if you want to see where the rest of the field is starting, here you go. There's the rest of the starting lineup on the left. Garrett Lamar starting 11th. He comes into this race 5th in the standings. I tell you what, the points are going to be interesting. Guys up and down the field having interesting results. Joseph Wright, the points leader, starts 28th. Thomas Troxell is 3rd in the championship. He starts 27th. Owen Miles starts 24th. Eli Bright has been very fast in a lot of races. And he starts from 32nd. So, bit of a jumbled up order. We'll see how it comes into effect here at Las Vegas. And the cars are rolling off. Everything's all well and good. So Stack and Stewart on the front row. Let's just make sure everyone's rolling off. And it looks like we're good, so no issues there in that regard. Which is good. 67 laps, just a tick over 100 miles long. Of course, we have 42 drivers as per normal, and we'll see how this shakes up. Not only this race, but not only this race in terms of the results, but how the live stream goes, because we might be seeing more of these live races in the future if all goes to plan. So we'll see how we go. This race could fly by, or if well, we haven't seen too many cautions. We've only had 2 cautions in the season, both at Daytona. We've had a couple of clean races since. We could see some yellows today. These guys are going very high speed. There'll be a lot of passes on the racetrack. Pace cars on pit road. Here we go. James Stack, John Stewart on the front row. Green flag. We are underway here in Las Vegas. Down the back for the first time, James Stack clears John Stewart for the race lead, and Max Davis is going to follow through to second. They come down, complete the first lap. James Stack in the 23 gets a bonus point for leading a lap. Davis in second. John Stewart looking to try and get back past the 6 and get up into second place, but unable to do so. And then it's James Jefferson in the 54. The inside lane, of course, is the preferred line here at Las Vegas, but I don't know. Occasionally we can see the outside lane work, but that will probably be later on in the run when we see the tyres wear quite a bit. Here comes the 22 of John Stewart. As I mentioned, it has been a very poor year for him in the Collins racing car. Comes into this race 38th in the championship. A lot of that, he's involved in the crash at Daytona. Had a decent run going at Atlanta for a while there, but didn't get a great result. Didn't get a great result at Oregon. And it comes in very low in the points. A second place would certainly help his season out. As James Jefferson here in the 54 had a great qualifying run after finishing third last week. He's going for third once again, this time on Max Davis, who of course beat him for the win last week. As here comes Stewart for the lead in the 22. And looks like the 22 is going to come down and lead the lap, and he will. First lead change of the afternoon here at lap 4. How about, look at back there, Chase Harris here in the 47. He's, again, another driver that's had a really, really disappointing year. He's 30, I think he's 36th in the championship. He is. Of course, he didn't get any points at Daytona. He crashed out, finished last. But right now running in third place, so good run for him. Early days, Logan Thomas finished second in Atlanta. Didn't have a good run last week. But he comes into this race 11th in the championship. And it seems like a lot because you get, at minimum, 85 points for a win. You get 86 if you lead the most laps. So it seems like a lot to win a race. But the championship, I mean, Thomas is only 49 points behind. So, yeah, he's not... it seems like he's a bit off, but in the grand scheme of things, he's really not. Consistency up at the front of the field is going to be king. And that's what we've seen from Joseph Wright so far this year. That's why he's leading the points. But John Stewart leading the way in the 22. Chase Harris is on the back of James Stack, and there he goes to the inside for second. So good stuff from the 47, moving his way forward. Now Thomas is going to follow through here, up into third. Stack falling back to fourth. These guys have kind of broken away a bit. Nicholas Samadeo is up into sixth. Roberto Crown Jr. is seventh. And you got Jared Oren back here. He is going for eighth underneath the Max Davis. And then Paul Antoine-Sierre, that's your top 10. Jake Rogers just outside in the number 9 in 11th. Logan Thomas now going for second. So 45 here. Moving his way forward on lap 9. And now he tries to hunt down John Stewart's 22. And now Samadeo and company have caught up to the back of James Jefferson. Jefferson trying to get to the inside of Stack. We saw a little bit a couple of laps ago as here comes the 45 now to the inside. He is there on the quarter panel and to the inside for the lead. And looks like, see the 22 fighting back on that outside lane. I was about to say, the outside lane in turns 1 and 2 is pretty good. It actually is, well, I wouldn't say pretty good, but it can be pretty good at times. The inside lane certainly the place to be more often than not. Side by side to the line, and Thomas just, well, not by much. 0.02 across the line. He leads that lap, and you see sometimes these guys have to check up a little bit there. That's what happened to James Stack, and that's why Thomas now has a big advantage. The field accordioning back together as Samadeo tries to shut the door on Jared Oren. Oren wasn't going to have a bar of it. And so the 72 here. As Roberto Crown Jr., I thought Davis was going to get to the inside. He didn't. Now Davis might get it now as I think Harris checked up and they all had to check up. And now Davis is going to gain at least 2, maybe 3 positions on that inside lane. He's going to bring Paul Antoine-Sierre with him and Jake Rogers in the 9. Right now it is still Logan Thomas leading the way. James Stack second. John Stewart third. Oren up into 4th, so good run for the 72. Jared Oren 18th in the championship coming in, but certainly could be in line for, to jump, launch his way up the standings. Right now running in 4th position. It's going to do him a lot of good as the 23, I reckon the 23 might have been able to clear the 22 there, but he pulled away late. And let the 22 get to the inside as they're side by side. And looks like the 22 will get him. And how about the 72? Look at the run that the 72 of Oren has gotten. And he might go for 2nd here. So 2 for 1 potentially? Not quite. John Stewart closes the door, and Stack tried to close the door on James Jefferson. Might still hold on to the position there, as I think the 54 had to check up a little bit, although the 54 is still there maybe. There he is. Now the 23 clears, so Stack will hold on to 4th. Davis now on the outside. He might be the biggest loser of them all, because here comes Samadio to the inside in the 97. Another driver has had a disappointing year, Nicholas Samadio, but right now leading the NS Racing NS Racing Brigade. Takes a run right now in 6th position. I thought Chase Harris. Oh, you see the 6. You don't want to get too high here, obviously, because then you really have to check up. There's no grip out there. And Davis has lost 1 and 2, and maybe even more than that. Let's take a look at the 20 here. So Seminole Motors lead the race, I think. Yes, they do. They still do. With Thomas. And you got Max Davis here in the 6. And then you got Nikolaus Schlorter in the 20. Who had a pretty good qualifying run for a while there. Did not have a good qualifying run. But he's actually moved his way forward. So right now just sitting outside the top 10. But doing a good job. Noah Clifton as well. He's had a pretty disappointing year. Like Schlorter. Well, not a good qualifier like Schlorter. But he's had a disappointing year like him. And right now running just outside the top 10 as well. So couple of new faces at the front, but the front of the field checked out. Stewart is pressuring this 45. It's all a matter of trying to find the spot, getting close enough to try and make that pass. Not always easy to do. And Thomas doing a good job. Of course, he only led 2 laps at Atlanta. He finished 2nd, nearly won the race. Only led 2 laps. He's led a lot more today so far. Good signs here for him, and Seminole Motors have him out in front and have his teammates up here as well. Top 6 have broken away just a little bit from Paul-Antoine Sierre. The 69s also had a dismal year. Monkey Racing have had a dismal year. They are 29th with Antoine Sierre in the championship. He's the highest of the 3 Monkey Racing cars in points. Here comes John Stewart for the lead. He gets around Thomas, and look at the run that the 72 got. He got launched. And here he goes to the inside here for trying to get to the lead of the race. And it looks like he will be able to do so. And he cleared the 22. I think he will be able to. And so 2 lead changes within the space of a lap. And Jared Oren takes the lead for Danger Zone Autosport. And look at this. Now, this is something you don't want to see. Or the 22 had to back out of it. Just be careful here. You don't want to be going 3 wide. That's one thing you do not want to do. It usually doesn't end particularly well. But luckily these guys, these guys have actually done a pretty good job all year of keeping, besides Daytona where they went 4 wide at the halfway point, they all crashed. They've actually done a mostly pretty good job of keeping the cars clean this year. So as the Samadia continues to work on John Stewart, James Stack and Jared Oren pulling away just a little bit. Samadio to the inside. Still alongside. Good fight here from Stewart in the 22. Here comes our pole sitter back to the inside. James Stack, 23. His only top 10 came in that race win at Daytona. I'm looking to grab a second one here today. Here comes the 97. Run from Samadio and Jefferson and Harris. Going to push this 23 to the front of the field. And James Stack retakes the lead here at Las Vegas. Samadio up into 2nd, and he might go for the lead himself here to turn 1. And you see again, just that little bit. There you go. You see sometimes the outside lane does work. And Samadeo, who was second across the line, just lost a spot on the outside to Jared Oren. So, outside lane can work. But that's very few and far between. Much rather be on the inside. Here comes Oren. Another good run. This 72 is pretty quick. It looks pretty quick. Danger Zone Autosport. A couple of their cars up here as well, because Harris, of course, is another one of those Danger Zone Autosport cars. So, got some speed here. The couple of Hondas, and here we go. Samadeo looking to make it 3 wide. Here he goes. 3 wide. Now, this is something you're going to have to be careful. Harris is in the middle. He had to check up, I think, Chase Harris. I'm not sure. I don't know if that was deliberate or not. But that was close. And they are very close to each other. It's Paul Antoine Sierra on the inside as well. And it looks like they're going to get away with it. How about that? Nice bit of driving there. It could have ended very badly. But didn't. And here comes the 23. So James Stack. On lap 26, we haven't had a crash yet. So that's kind of surprising, I must admit. We've seen a lot of... no one's been able to pull away from the field, really. As though Logan Thomas led a lot of laps, but no one's been able to pull away and dominate this race, per se. James Stack, a bit of an advantage because Jefferson, another James, trying to go for second, couldn't quite do it. Oren 72 holds on the outside. Samadeo and John Stewart still having that nice little ding-dong battle between those two. Got Antoine Sierra, Rogers moving his way up. You got Noah Clifton trying to move his way forward. So once again, you see that it looks like the outside lane is certainly coming into effect because particularly in turns 1 and 2, the outside lane is having a much better time. You know, having a much better time on the outside. So tyre wear coming into effect, and we will have pit stops. At this point, if there's a caution now, you will be able to make it to the end. I think anyway. I could be wrong about that, but never know. Oh, here we go. 3 wide. Rogers. So Jefferson got shuffled, lost the position to Nicholas Samadeo, and now they're 3 wide here with Stewart in the middle. Jefferson on the outside, and Rogers, wise beyond his years, of course, backs out, and Stewart goes up into 4th place in the 22. Good run for him. Antoine Sierra and Jefferson. Samadeo on the move to the inside here of the 72 of Jared Oren. Outside lane, not quite as strong in turns 3 and 4. As demonstrated there. Samadeo gets the 72 at the line. We'll see if he can get him into turn 1 and 2, and he does. So Samadeo up into 2nd place. John Stewart trying to go for 3rd. And now Samadeo sets his sights on the 23. Up 31 and 67. 3 wide again. So just said Rogers was wise beyond his years. And of course he takes him 3 wide again. So he's always been an aggressive racer. So not too much of a surprise. And here goes the 97 for the lead. And he's got it easily. Nicholas Samadeo takes the lead for NS Racing. Despite them leading the championship, and where is the 99 actually? Well, the 98's in 29th. The 99 is last. There you go. So, we're talking about the 99 and consistency, and he's dead last at the moment. But the 97 of Samadeo takes the lead, so they're bookending the field right now. Rogers in the 9. We haven't seen a lot of him this year. He finished top 10 at Daytona, but he's had a couple bad runs since. It wasn't really up there at Daytona, to be honest. He just kind of got up there late. But running in a good spot right now. It's been a tough year for Amaris Nichols as Collins. Oh, sorry, Collins. Stewart driving for Mitchell Collins. He's in 4th. Jefferson in 5th. How about Ricardo Garcia here, the 33, another one of the CRT cars, so teammate to James Stack. Another one of those guys that's had a disappointing year. Right now he's mired in the championship, 32nd. He's actually right behind Jake Rogers in the points, and right now having a pretty good showing inside the top 10. So good run for him, and you got another one of another CRT car here in Garrett Lamar, and another one in Samuel Francis, who's also had a disappointing year. But Lamar comes into this race 5th in the points, as I think Stack tried to make a move, but couldn't quite get it done in turns 1 and 2, and now he's under pressure here from Rogers. over halfway through this race. It's gone by pretty quickly, eh? That's not too unsurprising. They're going, averaging about, well, 206 miles an hour. This is not meant to be a realistic series. Don't you worry. It's 206 miles an hour. John Stewart up into second place. He gets around Jake Rogers, and now Jefferson trying to follow through. Rogers trying to get that outside lane to work. And it looks like he will cross the line. He's third, and we have a caution. Oh, and it's Watson. And Logan Williams. So the first caution since Daytona at about the midway point, and Watson was involved in that caution, of course, as well. But this time, looks like this one's going to be terminal. And Logan Williams. Oh, and the 32. So Caleb Rose is involved. Oh, this is a big one. Sebastian Palmer. The 74 of Samet Ozkin. Looks like Owen Miles is involved. That's big for the championship. Oh dear. At least six cars involved. And here we go. So this will be the one and only pit stop. So once again, just like at Daytona, no green flag pit stops. We'll follow with Sam Adio, of course, because he is the leader. And we'll see what kind of time he can put in here in the 97. Of course, everyone will be taking 4. I'd be surprised if anyone doesn't really. But you never know. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, it's just so long left in the race. About 30 laps. Looks like a clean stop for Sam Adio. He'll probably win the race off, and he does. John Stewart will remain in second. James Jefferson third. Jake Rogers and Nicolas Slaughter in the 20. Moves up the order. Up into the top 5. So there you go. So Nicholas Samadio in the 97. Leads the race, and it'll have found the spot off at turn 2. So this will be an interesting one. We'll review this one real quick, and then we'll get back to it. Because why not? Alright. So let's see what happened. This is a pretty big one by the looks of it. That's oh dear, yeah. So this is what I was talking about with 3 wide. So heading off into the turn, Logan Williams here in the 7. He's gonna 3 wide because Samadio's on the Samet Ozkin's on the inside. They make a bit of contact with Owen Miles. Williams and Miles make contact. Go down into Ozkin. They slide up. Lucky not to collect Thomas Troxel in the 27. You see Miles up in the wall, the Atlanta way, and then bang. That was Watson. Wrong place, wrong time for the 98. Oh, and then that. Oh, that was Palmer. And then Rose. And there's the 15. Joseph Wright looks like he got through it barely. But those guys coming in with the good old ARCA brakes. And straight into those guys. I'm surprised. I'm glad that it wasn't. I'm glad there weren't more cars involved. But a lot of damage there. Caleb Rose. Had a good run last week, Caleb Rose. Samet Ozkin's had a good year, but the last couple of weeks have been going to sink him in the points probably. Watson, of course, with a lot of damage. Logan Williams' year has been terrible. It's been terrible. It's just been a complete disaster. His best finish, I think, is 30th. So it's been a really bad year for him. Not going to get any better today. And Owen Miles, that's big. Early on, comes into this race second to the championship, and yet he's still ahead of Joseph Wright. So there you go. So top 2 in points in the mud here at Las Vegas. Let's take an on board. We didn't really get to see what happened with the 15, so we'll follow with him. Follow the on board here. Of course. Here we go. We'll see it happen in front. We'll see the smoke. There they go. And then bang, that was Watson. Oh, and Ozkin came down. Ozkin came down because he got hit by Watson. And then got hit by Watson, spun around for a bit, and then bounced back off the wall, down the track into the 15, and then I would assume that the 32 did the same. Just kind of wrong place, wrong time as well. So it's a big crash. Lots of damaged cars. And not good for their seasons. And get as many points as possible, and they're out of business. So, anyways, Samadeo is the leader here. Alright, the lights are out. So Samadeo, we're not going to go live. We'll just follow along from here. So Samadeo is the race leader. John Stewart is second. James Jefferson, Jake Rogers, and Nicholas Slaughter has moved his way into the top 5. Then Ricardo Garcia is 6th. Noah Clifton is 7th. 8th is Logan Thomas. 9th is Jared Oren, and Paul Antoine-Cyr is 10th. And I would assume that all those guys, Williams, Watson, Oskin, Palmer, and the 32 of Caleb Rose are all out of the race. There's the 2, and there's the 23. There you go. So James Stack must have had a disaster on pit road, because there is no way that there's any other explanation as to why he'd be 36th right now. So there you go. That's a disaster for him. He'll be looking to make his way through the field. We've got 27 to go this time. And we'll see how this one shakes out at the end. We might not have seen the last caution. And I've got bad news for everyone. I don't have the blue flags on for the 2, so he might come into play as well. If that were to happen, then he'll be disqualified. And I'll have to pause the game and then do that. So, fingers crossed it doesn't come to that. But anyways, green flag, 27 laps to go. Samadeo is the race leader. Here comes Jefferson in the 54. Straight away to second. Sure, with not a lot of grip up there. Here we go. Jefferson looking to the inside for the lead underneath the Samadeo, and he is gonna get it. James Jefferson, mark him down as the leader here on lap 41. Rogers up into second. Slaughter up into third. So what a run for him. Garcia, as here comes the 20 now for second. So Slaughter to second. Garcia up into the top 5. Of course, he's still got the 45 up here as well. Stewart's going to get back in the line. So he's not going to lose out too much. Good news for him. Jefferson has got a bit of a gap to come behind. Now there's Owen Miles. We might have to take this car off the track. We might have to pause the game and do that, because that's pretty slow. How far behind is he off the lead already? 7.6. So yeah. Anyway, Jefferson getting reeled in here by Jake Rogers in the number 9, who's getting reeled in here by the 33 of Ricardo Garcia. So Garcia now up into trying to get to second place. Couldn't quite get past the 9. Rogers was able to close the door. Logan Thomas has got around his teammate. He's up into 4th. Clifton up into 5th. So this will be a season best run for him, of course. Same can be said for John Stewart. Same could be said for the 47 here of Chase Harris. And probably the 20 as things stand right now. So for you guys here with season best runs, it is Jefferson leading the way in the number 54. Clifton going for the 4th position. He's going to get past the 45. John Stewart here trying to get past the 45 as well. The outside lane, one of those fresh tyres. It's not where you want to be, and Thomas is finding that out the hard way as here comes Harris. Here comes the 20. And Rogers going for the lead underneath of the 30, underneath the 54 and the 33, I suppose, for the lead. Ooh, Garcia is able to get back to the bottom. Now he goes back to the top. They are gonna go 3 wide. We saw before that did not work. Rogers was not able to get the run, and Stewart was not able to get the run. So Rogers will remain in second. Stewart remains in 5th for the time being. It's all James Jefferson here in the 54, looking for his first win of the year and back-to-back top 3 finishes. Of course, had a great run last week. Rogers still in second, though. Clifton's moved his way forward. He's up into third. Stewart fourth. Garcia fifth. Oh, Garcia. Oh, and there's a slow car. What the heck? Who was that? That the... No, it wasn't 56, was it? No, it was Brad Stover! And in the wall is Joseph Wright. Contact there with McLeese. They all lost their damn minds. But Brad Stover has had some sort of mechanical issue. We stay green. He was way down at the bottom of the racetrack. Has been towed back. But I'm not sure what the issue there was. And everyone lost their minds. That was crazy. Got Anthony and Stack back here. Joseph right now with damage on the right side. The 56. I don't know what happened. We'll have to take a look at that. They're catching up to Owen Miles here in the 2. That might be an issue. And Jefferson still leading the way. Oh, caution would have really been interesting. But, I mean, it's okay. It's still interesting as is, of course. So Clifton now to second. He gets around Rogers. Garcia going for fourth. Look at the gap that the top 6 have pulled on Chase Harris. And then Slaughter. And then another big gap back to Antoine Sierra and Logan Thomas. So it's all these guys pulling away. But Clifton, he's just very quietly moved his way forward. Here we go. This is going to get good. And this is why. I should have put on the... should have been able to do that, but anyway, whatever. That's going to be a problem. That's my fault. Garcia and Rogers are going to lose out here on that outside lane. It looks like... Ooh, that's not ideal. That's not ideal. That's something I'll have to remember for the next one. But Garcia and Rogers clear. That's alright, and here we go. Battle on for the lead. So one Velocity car down, another one trying to take the lead of the race. It's been a disappointing year for Clifton. Well, here comes Samadio with a good run. Clifton blocked him off. Samadio was unable to hold that run, but he was flying. All these guys are flying, of course. Let's see who's going to make the move. It is going to be Clifton. There he goes. The inside of Jefferson. Side by side. Can the 54 hold it on the outside lane? Clifton at the line has the lead. Let's see here into turn 1. Yes, he does. So Clifton clears for the race lead. Here comes the 97 and the 47. Samadio for second. Cannot quite get around this 54 just yet. Second across the line, and Harris is there as well. Jefferson trying to hold that outside lane, but Samadio, he needs to clear because Jefferson had a pretty good run. Here we go. 54 to the inside, crossed over. Nicholas Samadio got past Chase Harris, and now Jefferson back up into second place. Nice move. And now Harris looking to make the most of this opportunity, going for third. Got a number of Hondas up here. You got Harris, you got the 69, and you got Rogers as well. And you got Oren, and how about Stephen Cologne last in the points? And here he is, just outside the top 10. Good run for him, and of course we missed the change for the lead, but Jefferson's back in front. And here comes Samadio. 10 laps to go. Jefferson trying to hold on that outside lane in the 54. Off into turn 3. Samadio. Looks like he will get just enough ahead. He will clear the 54. And now Chase Harris here in the 47 up into second place. And Paul-Antoine Sierre in the 69. Going for third underneath of Jefferson. Here comes Rogers in the 9. Rogers' car is not particularly great on the bottom. Once again, he had to check up a little bit. And that's going to hurt him. Antoine now to the inside here of Chase Harris for second place. And look at the run that the 54 got. Will he make it 3 wide? He's thinking about it. He's there on the inside of Antoine Sierre. And Harris is going to lose out. And Jefferson is back up into second place. So the 54 is flying right now. But right now, Nicholas Samadeo leads the way for NS Racing. Jefferson might be the fastest car on the track at the moment. He is flying in that 54 car. Finished third last week, almost won it. And here he goes. He's got a heck of a run, and Samadeo shut the door on him. He wasn't going to get past that 97, not yet. And here comes the 69, and he might be the one to make the move. No, Jefferson is going to get to the inside here of Samadeo for the lead. 5 laps to go. We don't have better cautions either, so if the caution comes out, this race is over. Antoine Sierre to second. Jefferson takes the lead. Samadeo looking to slot back into third before Rogers can get to him. Antoine Sierre in the 69 car, trying to find a way around James Jefferson. 4 laps to go. So they cross the line. Samadeo under pressure here from Rogers in the 9. And Rogers is going to get to third. Don't count him out. Look at the gap that Jefferson's got. He just found a little bit of time on Antoine Sierre. Coming to 3 to go this time. Finished third at Oregon. He's led a lot of laps. He might have led the most today. Jefferson in the 54, looking to go to victory lane for the first time this year. Antoine Sierre, same can be said for him. Same can be said for everyone in the top 10 except for Max Davis, who's just found his way up into 10th. 2 to go this time. This race is not over yet. All it takes is one good run for Antoine Sierre, and this thing is well and truly on. But Jefferson has done a very nice job so far. Here comes Antoine Sierre. Here comes Rogers in the 9. He's looking to the inside, but he's not going to be close enough. Oh boy, this might be a side-by-side finish once again. Just like we saw at Atlanta. Oh, here comes Rogers. Antoine Sierre shuts the door on him. White flag, 1 lap to go. Oh, Jefferson trying to block. He got a good run. Antoine Sierre had to check up. Slaughter going for 5th underneath the Chase Harris. They will not get to the 54. And the fastest car out there is going to go to victory lane. James Jefferson wins at Las Vegas. Nicely done, as he had to hold the field off. Third 2 weeks ago at Oregon. Winner today, James Jefferson, for the Whole Life Racing Project. Our winners for the first time in 2023, and that will boot him up the championship order for sure. On what was a very interesting day for the championship contenders, or for the guys that were up there in the points. So Jefferson the winner, Paul-Antoine Sierre second, Jake Rogers, Nicholas Samadeo, Chase Harris the top 5. I think all 5, I think down to maybe Gerard Oren. I think everyone had a season best finish, down to Gerard Oren. So certainly at least 8 cars in the top 10 got a season best finish. Max Davis, of course, won last week, so you know. It's not a season best for him, but I think he takes the points lead potentially. Let's see. I think he does. I think Max Davis will be the points leader after this race, so nice run for him. But it's James Jefferson, the race winner here at Las Vegas, and it was an entertaining race. And piston issue for Brad Stover. That was the issue there for the 29. That's why he ended up out of the race. Owen Miles, of course, a lap down. Joseph Wright, 35th. So first and second in the championship, 35th and 36th. And third in the championship, Thomas Troxell was 27th. So I'm all but sold. Max Davis will definitely leapfrog. Yeah, no, he'll be the championship leader. So Max Davis will be the championship leader in the number 6. I don't know how much by. We'll see once we calculate all that. But it's been a good year for him so far, and that is just about it. That was fun. I enjoyed that. But yeah, those boys and girls were zooming. They were very fast. They were down the order. It's one caution today, and I enjoyed that race. I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Well, I mean, I don't know. We might do more of these live streams. Maybe not every race, but certainly quite a number of them, depending on what happens with work and all that. But I enjoyed that. So thank you to everyone who came out. Thank you to everyone in chat. I was reading the messages there. I couldn't respond to them, but thank you for coming out and chatting. That's was awesome. And next week we're going to Auto Club. I'm not sure if we're going to do it live or not. We'll see what happens. But the points will be in the Discord later today, maybe tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Congratulations to James Jefferson and the whole Live Racing Project, and we'll see everyone next week at Auto Club. So we'll see you then.